Cool.
All right, guys. Good luck.
Awesome. So, CatZ, you ready? You pretty excited for the day?
Pretty excited for the day.
That's good. Well,
Should be fun. It's a pretty good clan war to start with.
Yeah, this is
How do
a
we
really good match.
get in it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the.
Oh, play clams.
That's even better.
Yeah.
I mean, all we have to do pretty much is talk about the game.
Pretty much. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's good.
Oh,
Diognis
that's
is actually he's an old school Brood War player who played Brood War for a while back in like 2006 and 2007. Really just started making a name for himself in StarCraft 2 pretty recently in the last couple of MLGs. He's a Terran player. Yeah, he's a really good player actually. I actually train with him quite a bit. And then I don't know much about Vile State other than he's a Protoss player. Do you have any info on him?
Yeah, he's a really aggressive Protoss player as far as I know. Yeah, I mean, I know more about Diognis as well, but State is really good. He's had really good tournament performances, and he always takes down pretty impressive people. This is a little bit surprising. I'm not sure, like, Quantic's lineup is pretty ridiculous right now.
It is.
Theo is really good though, like he's a really underrated player, but them sending him first is a little bit odd. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they're maybe giving him a chance to get that all kill or something, but it's going to be pretty hard because Vile still has a really solid team.
Yeah, they
Regardless
do.
of the fact that I think we both would agree that Quantic has, on paper, that I would imagine that they would be the winner of the clan war, right? If I had to make a money bet, I'd probably bet on Quantic.
Well, if they were to bring Sase and Naniwa, yeah, I think they would be likely to win the tournament. But I'm not sure who they are playing, and of course, there's always upsets that can happen. And yeah, Vile can definitely make that happen as well. They have State, they have Spanishiwa, they have Illusion. Illusion is really good, actually.
Yeah, actually, he's just like, man, I remember when he was really bad at this game. And recently, every time I play him, he actually either the game goes like really long or he wins. Like I can't even figure it out. Like, man, what happened? He learned how to play Terran really solidly.
Yeah, I played him on the Korea server not long ago, and we had like a 1 hour or something game, which I won.
Of course, throwing it out there.
Of course.
So anyways, it looks like both players are ready, so let's go ahead and jump into the game.
Let's go ahead and jump into the game.
Alright, now I don't know any of these maps. I'm going to be honest, I haven't really ever seen any of these NASL maps. But this is Artifact, so looks like it's a 4-player map.
Artifice.
Yeah.
I believe your English is flawed, Jake.
What?
What?
Oh yeah, you're right. My English is flaws. There we go. Leave it to the Peruvian to correct my English.
Yep. Alright. So I'm not sure if I've played this map before, let's see. But I have played a few of the NASL maps. They're pretty interesting maps. This looks a lot like one of the new maps, one of the new ladder maps, doesn't it? Like without the rocks though in between the third and the natural? Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm not really seeing it.
It looks bigger. It looks big. Like wide open. I would guess this is like a Zerg map. If
it
anything.
looks really good. Like especially with all the I'm guessing these light fixtures on the map are kind of like fog of war, maybe.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
So that would be really good for you know, flanking and stuff like that. Especially since Zerg is all about hitting from different angles. So, but we do have a Protoss versus Terran here, so we're not going to get to see the Zerg imbalance just yet. Probably later on in the day we'll see it.
Right. Is that why you switched?
Of course. Obviously we switched to win. No, not really. I played Zerg in StarCraft 1, you know that.
No, I know. Lord StarGamer.
Oh.
Anyways. Mr. Lord StarGamer. You did used to play Terran, unlike me, so you probably know a lot more about this matchup than I do. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what's going on?
Alright, well, it's going to pretty much all decide on what the pace of the game is going to be. Pretty much with the Terran, I think he decides the pace of the game more so, depending on whether he's going to play more for a 1-1-1 opening, or he's going to go for more of a fast expansion, just like a gasless expansion or something like that. We do see that he is walling off. Protoss got his lucky rabbit's foot in one hand and got the lucky scout off. Scouted first straight to his base, so he's over here harassing the probe, and this is always annoying because now Terran has to bring extra SCVs to deal with that. So like right now, there's 3 SCVs actually off the line. One's scouting, one's building a racks, and one's trying to hunt down this probe. So he's losing some significant mining time during that process.
Most stuff.
Yep, we do
No,
have
keep going. I have no idea.
Alright. We do have only 1 gas from the Protoss right now, so it looks like he might want to go for a just like a 1-gate expand, which is a pretty popular build. We do see that the Terran did opt for the 1 racks no gas expand, which in my opinion is the best build for Terran in this game. But you know, Protoss is not going to be doing anything really to fall behind in the economic stance, because it looks like he's going to do like the same thing. Looks like he's going to maybe put a stalker
Jake,
out.
Whenever I do this, Protoss just 4-gate me and I die.
Do you make Marines or Marauders?
I make Marines.
Well, all you need is 2 bunkers, Marines, you win.
Really?
Yeah,
What about Blink Stalker all-ins?
you win.
You win?
Yeah, Terran can beat all of that. Like, I don't think there's a 1 base all-in that can beat this if you like see it coming or you prepare for it.
What if you lose Marines? But first sell it.
Well, that's bad, and we do see that he is actually going to lose maybe all of his Marines here. Oh my gosh, this could be terrible for Theognis, because right now he has... Oh, never mind. 1 Marine got in the bunker.
Yep, that was really close. That could have been game over right there.
Yeah, it could have been, because if he would have got that last Marine, then that bunker would have been worthless, and that Stalker would have had free reign, and he would have had to have probably even canceled his expansion, because it wouldn't have been finished in time, I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple of additional racks being thrown down for our Terran player Theognis here. And the SCV actually gets in and scouts that the Nexus did go down and that he is only on 1 gas. So from this, he knows that it's not going to be a very heavy sentry play. He's mostly going to be going for a Stalker Zealot opening, pretty much with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the game's just kind of unfolding at this point.
Are we on your screen, Jake, for the stream?
No, they're yours.
We're on mine. They're asking for the production tab, Duran.
That's you.
Bam. Okay. So we see him adding a lot or 2 tech labs and 1 reactor. That seems pretty standard thus far. And taking both gases. I think he could have even like made another orbital command once he scouted the Nexus, couldn't he?
He could have, yeah, definitely. It's more so something you see versus Terran than you do Protoss. And the reason that is because, as you were talking about, a lot of those 1 base all-ins that Protoss could throw at you. Well, doing that, if you add that extra macro command center and they do any kind of blink stalk or anything like that, you're probably going to die for sure. You're just not going to have the income at that timing to stop it.
Right. But from the Protoss standpoint as well, like I've noticed a lot of Protosses, like you know, like I've been coached by Minigum, bro. And, like he's always like trying to big pickup, free stalker for free. Like he's always trying to not make it or warp any units until the last possible second, and then they try to get their upgrades going, like their double forge going and all that stuff.
Right.
So, I'm guessing it's a little bit of a game, like it's kind of like a CVZ in a way, right? Where
yeah,
just
it kind of is.
Trying to get ahead in economy.
Yeah, where you're trying to invest as little as possible into army, where you're just trying to get all of your tech and infrastructure set up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That's what TVP feels like a little bit.
Yeah, now these Marines and Marauders really need to be careful, because one really bad engagement with force fields or anything like that, and he's going to lose a complete map control all the way up until the medevac tech comes out. So he really needs to just be careful with that. It's never really a good idea to ever attack into a Protoss, with such a small army, even if you have stim, which he doesn't, but it's on its way. It's about 70% completed. You do have a missile turret already going up for Theognis, playing extra safe, making sure that he can't just have an observer over him, or he send DTs later on in the game. Hopefully he notices the observer, and actually the observer better run or it's gonna die.
Yep, and there it is running away, and yeah, it looked like the Theognis wanted to push it a little bit, but never mind. And yeah. Oh, he scanned. Did he get the observer? I didn't see Jake. He got it, right?
Yeah, he scanned and picked it up. So.
Sweet.
And that's actually, like, even though, you know, every time you scan you're losing like 300 minerals, picking off a observer queues up, you know, let's say he wanted to build a Colossus right now or something. He couldn't do it because he would have to build another observer or something, right? So it would slow down a production part, which we see that he's just actually playing without observer at all, which is, in my opinion, kind of risky. You know, Protoss always should have that scouting information, at least like an observer outside the base so they know what's coming.
Yeah, he does have a War Prism though. That's gonna serve as an observer of sorts, but yeah, it's not gonna tell him if he moves out, and that's about it. He did decide to start the Colossus and the Thermal Lance upgrade as well.
Yeah, he did do a 2 Immortal drop, and he actually picked off the supply depot that was kind of like on the outskirts of his base as like a little scouting meter. So he is running away, which is really good, but it's always dangerous to load up 2 Immortals this late into the game. You know, Stim is complete. He could have stemmed the Marines and even had a chance of picking off the Phase Prism, which, you know, he would have lost a lot of investment for that.
Yeah. Now the Ognis actually is making 2 Vikings, so I would like to see those 2 Vikings get a free 2 Immortals. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. We do have +1 weapons already completed for our Terran player. 2 medevacs are up and about. A lot of times when your first 2 medevacs come up, they use them to harass, but instead it looks like he's gonna just, you know, move his entire army out and do some kind of maybe timing attack. But, you know, there's 2 Colossus already on the field for Miles State, so I'm not so sure how well this is gonna work out.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you. And there's a War Prism, using it really as an observer, just throwing it against the army. I think that's what it was. It didn't look like a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
You think it was?
Well, I can't imagine being like, well, if it only costs like 200 minerals, let's send it to go see if this army's here.
Well, he probably wouldn't have much of a use for it later on. Or maybe just like a poor pylon.
I don't know. Like even in PvZ, I see a lot of Protoss nowadays sending a Warp Prism with their attack so that they can just like warp in units like right behind their army, so they don't have to worry about like a proxy pylon and stuff. Have you not been seeing that ever?
Yeah, or also just attacking 2 places at once.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's always good, I suppose. Then it was a mistake, Jake. Good job pointing out the flaws of the player. Standard caster.
That's what I do. Alright, so we do have the 3rd already up for Miles State, and that's really good. For us, getting a 3rd before a Terran is not good for a Terran. I find Terran should be kind of the one up in bases, almost. Especially when you're going up against a Colossus-type army, because you're going to need that extra gas to get those Vikings and stuff, and the upgrades that you really need as Terran to deal with the Protoss army.
Right. Yeah, the Ognis does have double E-base, which a lot of Terrans don't do, and actually State only has 1 Forge, it looks like, which a lot of Protosses don't do. It's usually the other way around. So
yeah, it is.
So I think him being behind a little bit in the 3rd base, like that fact kind of makes up for it a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, I would say. A lot more times when we see 2 Forges from the Protoss, they actually don't play the Colossus type of play, and they actually play the Zealot, Charge, Storm, the Sentry type play, and all that kind of stuff, instead of the Colossus type, because Colossus take a lot of your gas. You really can't afford 2 Forges and mass Colossus. It's usually just not possible. Also, I noticed the 3rd only has 1 gas, is that right? Or am I missing it? Oh, never mind. No, wait.
Yeah, it only has 1 gas apparently, and it's not a rich Vespene geyser either. Now let's see, he's actually getting Storm as well, and Blink. He's spending a lot of gas status on just 5 gases. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to support this much stuff. He has to cut Colossus production soon. He's still making Colossus here.
Yeah, I mean, once the Terran player making a lot of Vikings, I don't even think you should invest past like 4 Colossus in general, because they start losing their value once, you know, they can just one-shot a Colossus with a Viking. So I really think you should start switching into the High Templar role and really deal with the whole Terran clumping.
But look at this, like, there's no ghosts in the army composition of the Terran, and look at how much energy those sentries have. Like, this should be a pretty good fight for the Protoss if he positions himself correctly. Oh, 3 Colossus there, though. Very nice pickoff by the Agnes.
Yeah, that was a good pickoff. You have the Stalkers out in front trying to zone the Vikings back. We do have another base going down here for Vile State, and Terran really needs to do something about this. He can't just let, you know, Protoss grab more and more bases. It does look like he is going around, maybe going to try attacking from another angle. Terran does have a scary-looking army, and he does have the 2-1 upgrades, as you pointed out earlier, versus just the 2 armor. But here we have the engagement.
5 Templars, though, in this army as well for the Protoss. I think the Protoss player is in a better position. Oh, he's suiciding all of his zealots, though. Oh, there we go. Nice storm. Nice storm. Nice positioning by the Agnes. No storm there, no storm on that Templar. And look, this is painful to watch a little bit. All of the sentries are still with full energy.
Yeah, but he does have a ton of skills. And he throws down like 34 skills right there. And he is slowly cleaning up, but those medevacs are doing a lot of overtime. They're really feeling that Marauder and Marine competition. I'm really not sure who's going to win this. It doesn't look like Protoss is going to be just enough to clean this up. But at what cost? He's lost almost all of his sentries, and you never want to lose that many sentries at this stage of the game. You always want to keep them as long as possible because you don't want to have to reinvest so much gas into those sentries to be able to force building them.
Yeah, especially because of what we were mentioning earlier. Like he only has 1 forge. Like his gateway units aren't all that great, and he basically lost every Templar, every Colossus but 1, and every sentry in his army.
Yep, sure. We do have a random Colossus going to scout, though. This could be just like the Phase Prism, and it is.
That had to be on purpose. I think he was just scouting.
Of course he was scouting. That's what I said.
Okay, good.
Glad we agree.
But yeah, I don't know, Jake. That fight bothers me so much. Just watching that fight bothered me a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. Oh, could have had a feedback a little bit late, but it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have killed it anyways. Dude, like, that fight, like, all the zealots went by themselves, then the Templars, the sentries never came, the Colossus were way in the back, you know, like, it was just not very good positioning by the Protoss in that fight. I think State could have just outright won the game right there.
Awesome. You know, actually, Young's pretty good with this drop. He's killing a lot of probes.
Yeah.
Even though, the Protoss player has known about it, Vile State's known about this for a long time, he's still just picking off probe after probe. Really kind of sloppy in my opinion, especially considering the medevac doesn't even have energy to heal the units. We do have 4 base Protoss, it's a 3 base Terran. I do not see another command center that's getting ready to take another base. I take it back, I see it now. It's floating from the main, about to take his 4th expansion and try to be even up on base count, but Protoss still has a lot more probes than the Terran player. Terran player only has 67 harvesters, which is actually kind of low.
Yeah, but it's actually good when it comes to the fight, as long as he has some ghosts. I don't know, I feel like he needs ghosts. He's so ahead in upgrades. If he just waits for the 3-3 upgrades to finish, if he just knew that the Protoss still in 1 forge, and just waited for that 3-3, this could be really good for the Agnes, as long as he adds up some ghosts to his army.
Yeah, we have no anti-air here, so these 4 Vikings are actually killing all the Colossi. There's like 1 Stalker in the mix, but he's not even attacking. I do not believe.
Wow, there's actually no anti-air. This is really sloppy. Oh, nice pickup of a Templar. 2 Templars? No, can I have 2? Two Templars. Then a little bit of an overstim, but that's okay, I think.
Yeah, big storm goes down. Actually hits the Zealots way more than the Marines and Marauders. But he is doing a good job of fighting these back, and as we talked about earlier, that it looks like he's fighting with 1 part of his army at a time, and that's what we're seeing. There are a lot of High Templars here with full energy. A 6th storm goes down.
Oh wow, 6 storms!
Yeah, that pretty much killed all the bio there. Just a couple of storms did the work, but at what cost again? He lost all of his Colossus again, and that was like 4 or 5 Colossus. You really can't afford just to throw away that many Colossus over and over again. We do have the fourth base up and running for our Terran player Theognis from Quantic Gaming, and we have a lot of Archons being merged. And this is actually what I wanted to see a lot earlier. Archons are such good meat shields versus the Marine Marauder mix.
Yeah, and now state is actually at 2-2. I think the Agnes definitely needs to wait for his 3-3 here. It's done in a second, and he's gonna find the top base here. So this is good. You know about this map? I really like the X-ray thingy. Like all the armies get X-rayed, and I feel like they're gonna get sick every time they go through it. Or like lose some, you know, lose some HP, lose the shields.
Right. Oh snap.
Well, nice position by the Agnes, but I don't think it's enough.
Well, it might not be enough to win the war, but he definitely got way more cost effectiveness out of his army, which is pretty much all he was aiming for. He really needs to run the medevac though. I don't know he actually does be able to pick up some of his army and actually save it. I actually would have just ran the medevacs a long time ago just to try to save those, but looks like Theognis knows a little bit better than me, and he was able to save most of his medevacs and army.
Yeah, pretty good number. There's a pylon there scouting, and he's warping and stuff in range. There we go. Oh, ghosts! 25-minute ghosts. Now joining in the fight, so this should be good.
Yeah, but they do not have the upgrade from the Ghost Academy, I don't even know what it's called, Mobius Reactor. So they do not actually start with enough energy to EMP right off the bat.
Right. It's kind of like same as the Infestor upgrade, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay. Mobius Reactor. Oh, the units are getting X-rayed. This looks like a small army by the Protoss. Let's see, it's gonna come down to EMPs. Nah, decent EMPs, not really all that good. Not really all that good storms either, though.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, beautiful storms!
Colossus kills stuff pretty fast when everything's on red.
Oh, that was a mistake to run away those Colossi. They were dead anyways. They could have killed, like, probably all of that.
Yeah, but at the same time, he at least made sure that Terran did not get his next base up, so he is still on actually 2 mining bases at this point, which is not really that good, considering Protoss is on 3 mining bases. So if Protoss can just weather the storm and keep denying this 5th base from the Terran player, then he should be able to just easily win the game that way.
Yeah, especially because now he's catching up back up on upgrades again. He's 2-2 and he's upgrading to 3. I think I saw him upgrade. Yeah, he did get shields level 1 too, which I really like. And yeah, the Terran needs to do something. The Agnes needs to do something. He's already behind in supply, and State, despite not having the best starting position at some of these fights, his macro and his game plan has been impeccable, I think, thus far.
Yeah, I think he's done really well with how he's went about expanding this game, how he's never just been complacent about having, like, oh, I got 3 bases, that should be good. He's constantly been trying to get more bases the entire game, been very aggressive about it. I really like that.
Yeah. Very cool. Also, the style, like, using both Colossi and Templars in the mix, I have to imagine that's incredibly hard to deal with as a Terran.
Yeah, I really think what Terran needs is Cloak Ghost at this point, because there is no observer since, actually there hasn't been an observer since the one he made that was scanned and picked off at like the 6-minute mark.
Yeah,
so
that was...
I would really like some Cloak Ghost to go in there and just walk in, EMP all
snipe
the High
everything.
Templars, or snipe. I mean, yeah, that works even better really, because then they can't merge into Archons, and then just A move.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I don't think the Agnes can be aware. Like, of course, us as casters, we can know what's going on, but the Agnes probably doesn't. Probably thinks there's observers everywhere.
Right.
He just scanned the army, though. It's pretty hard to notice those little details, though, like, unless you're looking for them.
Right.
He just scanned the army. He could just be like, oh, there's no observer, but... It's pretty like unless you think of what you just thought, Jake, and he's like, what if I use Cloak Ghost? I should check for an observer, and then he scans, and they're like, oh, no observer. Unless you're thinking of it, it's really tough. I like this move though.
I like these stalkers that picked off this. Actually, I don't even know. It's called a sensor tower. So he actually picked that off and was able to run away.
Oh,
and,
nice positioning.
Yeah,
on those
but
stalkers.
right now, that's a scary Terran army if he gets some sick EMPs off, though. That can do a ton of damage. It all comes down to hitting those EMPs, though.
Yeah, I think he should leave the ghost behind even just to, like, EMP the choke. Oh,
Yeah.
This is gonna be, like, he's trapped, though. He should have either backed or backed. I don't know. This is scary.
Yeah, this is, it's a pretty weird position to be in general.
Yeah, State kind of just, like, they're both scared of fighting right now. Like, State could have just, I feel like, just put a few, like, even a couple of High Templars there just to make sure that he didn't get out unharmed or something like that. Let's see. This is scary for both, though.
Yeah, it all comes really down to how well they control this next fight, because if Terran dominates Protoss in this next fight, then there's no chance that Protoss has of winning this game. But if Protoss obviously can steamroll Terran, which again I still think comes down to how well Theognis can lay down his EMPs. Because if you EMP all the High Templars and they really can't get the storms off, then he's just not going to have enough DPS to deal with this Terran army.
Oh no! Oh wow, nice position on my Theognis here, and he's gonna have time to spread his army. Is he gonna EMP though? It doesn't look like it. Oh, sick! Yo, some sick EMPs, some sick storms. Like the one Templar that didn't get EMP'd, Jake.
I know, I saw that. He got like two miracle storms right on everything. And then all the Templars that did get EMP turned to an Archon, so now they're just like still super beefy. And right now, this is the time State has to do something. He has to make a counterattack happen or something, because he can't just let Protoss or let Terran keep expanding. So here, or even just let him rebuild up his army, right? Because Terran doesn't build their army as fast as Protoss and Zerg do, I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Planetary, so that's too much DPS. That's enough. So
oh, beautiful storm brought to you by Azo. I don't know, they keep saying sponsor plugs. I don't know what you mean, Durant. Okay. GG! That was a nice game. Sick game.
That was nice. A few sloppy mistakes. You know, using the scouting Colossus. The scouting Warp Prism. Yeah, a couple other things. Really, like, I feel like Protoss didn't have any observers or have like the watchtower, so he didn't actually know where Terran's army was a lot of times, so he got caught off guard or out of position a lot.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick game though. Those storms at the end, man. I thought Theognis had it. He had such good EMPs, and then there was like one or two Templars that didn't get EMP'd, and I don't know where they came from.
Yeah, that was a really good game, and you know, like we said, we thought Theognis would have took it from just like name versus name, but State showed that he knows what he's doing. So we're just gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to continue the win streak. So we'll be right back after this commercial break and with some more games.